Question 20. It says factorise this quadratic expression, so that would suggest then that we can put it into a pair of brackets. Looking at the coefficient of x squared, it's 2, so I'll need a 2x here and an x here. And when you expand them, you'll get 2x squared. 2x squared like that. Now I need to think of two numbers that will times together to make 4, and they'll need to go here and here. So my options are 2 and 2, negative 2 and negative 2, negative 4 and negative 1, or 4 and 1. And I'm going to have to choose carefully which order they go in, because it will make a significant difference, because this number here is 2. Well, it turns out that the correct answer is for both of them to be negative. This is going to be negative 4, and this is negative 1. Negative 1. So that when you expand the brackets and you do 2 lots of that, you get take away 8x. And when you do those two times each other, you get take away x. And then when you do those two times each other, you get add 4. And simplifying that gives you what you were looking for, 2x squared minus 9x plus 4. Okay. Down here then, it's asked us to solve that, so we need to find two values. You know that it's going to be two values when you see that it's a quadratic. Okay. 2x squared minus 9x plus 4. I've seen that somewhere before. Oh yeah, just here. Okay, so they must have given us that for a reason. Write out the brackets that we know that it factorises into. 2x minus 1, x minus 4. Okay, so I took that just straight from up here. Equals 2x minus 1. It says squared, so I'll write it out again instead of writing squared. 2x minus 1. Okay, so we're looking for two values. Well, I could divide both sides by 2x minus 1, so that cancels out, and what I'm left with is x minus 4 equals 2x minus 1. And if I then take away x from both sides and add 1 to both sides, I get that x is negative 3. So that's one of the answers. X equals negative 3. But as I was saying, there's going to be two values. Okay, so the other way to work it out then would be to say to yourself, right, let's just put that back. Get rid of that. And that was 2x. Take away 1. Okay. What do I need to make this what do I need to make x to so that this bracket is worth 0? Because if I do that, if that whole bracket is 0, then x times that x take away 4 will give us 0. And if we've made this bracket equal to 0, that's going to be equal to 0, so everything will work out and we'll have 0 on both sides. So I'm trying to work out what does x need to be in this bracket here so that this bracket is worth 0. Okay, 2x minus 1 equals 0. Well, for that to be the case, I would have to add 1 to both sides. 2x equals 1, divide by 2, x equals a half. So if x is a half, times it by 2, take away 1, yeah, you get 0. So the other value for x then is x equals a half. So there were two ways that the ways that we came up with those two values. One was to write them out as a pair of two brackets, and then two pairs of brackets, one on each side of the equal sign. Those two would cancel each other out, and you'd be left with an equation that you could solve. And then the other way was to work out what value does x need to take so that this whole bracket is equal to 0, and then that whole side will be equal to 0 as well. Okay, that's the end.